2, fight.
To the nether realm.
Angry Joe
Wins. Flawless victory.
Before I get into everything, I just want to say that about 40% of my viewers watch these videos and aren't subscribed. I hope that today, given the variety and frequency of uploads I give you, I will earn your subscription. There's a red subscribe button below the video, or there's one on my main channel. Hopefully today will be that day. It just makes finding my videos easier and keeping up on the news much easier. Yes, this is how you handle things, all right? You don't immediately bend the knee when you're not in the wrong. You stand up for yourself. And Angry Joe has just released a statement in regards to some of the things that were said about him. I made a video covering this just a few days ago, and actually just yesterday, and talked about how the story was full of holes, and it seemed rather odd to me that Medium.com was cool publishing this, and that anyone would have jumped on board. Now, I want to be very, very, very clear. Yes, some women are telling the truth right now about what's going on. Yes, some men are telling the truth right now. But you cannot just simply hashtag believe all. This is a damaging mindset. It is a mindset of the low IQ. It is the mindset of people that want you to just shut up and get in line. Do what they say. Kneel before them and apologize. And then apologize again because your first apology wasn't good enough. Angry Joe has issued a statement that was so effective within an hour, the person walked back everything. Here's Queen of the Feeders, the one that wrote the article, saying, "I will be taking a step back from Twitter. It amazes me that people think the little follows I am getting somehow outweigh all the backlash and result in some sort of clout or monetary gain." I don't believe that she had monetary gain in mind, but make no mistake about it. Clout is real. Getting attention is real. Wielding power over somebody is real. It's, in fact, the core energy source for all of cancel culture. She continues, "I never said he did anything bad to me. I said his actions were predatory because they were. Thank you. Those who have supported me know I am not ignoring you. I won't delete or hide anything regardless of what happens because it needs to be known." Now, interestingly enough, this is, I don't want anyone, by the way, I don't want anyone going to this woman's Twitter account. Okay. I don't want anyone piling on. I think ultimately you have a situation where I believe she may have decided to embellish. Maybe she is feeling exactly what she said. She's by the way, a Twitch partner, a voice actor, a U.S. military veteran, Overwatch coach, and she's not nobody. All right. You could see some of the replies. "What can't you handle the backlash from your bad fan fiction? I really hope you're 100% certain of those events you transcribed from inebriated memories 2+ years ago. Creates a storm, then thinks she can just walk away. Not sure who you are, but I believe Joe to be a respectable man who upholds his morals. Feel like you're in this for the money." No, I don't think her motivations were financially motivated. I don't know how you turn this into money quickly. I mean, you get clout, you get followers, and maybe you eventually extract some money from that. But ultimately, I'm not sure that that's what was said here. But she did go out of her way. "Well, I never said he did anything bad to me. I just said his actions were predatory." That's absolutely a walk back. You're going to get taken to court and lose all credibility. Hope it was worth it. Your story doesn't sound the least bit predatory. It sounds like a guy thinking that a girl is into him, more into him than she is. You turning it into some, "Oh my God, he was scary, but I still never left." And that doesn't even touch your inconsistencies. "I'm a simple man. I see pink hair and I immediately ignore whatever that person has to say." Now, again, I don't condone anyone going to this person's Twitter account, but this was starting to get some coverage. I broke essentially the story on YouTube, but now you have industry hit with a second wave of new claims. And people talk about Angry Joe in this article, and several other people are bringing it up. And Joe put out a twit longer today after speaking with his lawyers to see some of the replies. And people used to say Ninja was out of line for avoiding streaming and networking with others that wasn't his wife. Protect your neck and bail immediately if it sounds like a bad idea. You got a lot more to lose than they do. Joe says, you can't be too careful. Celebrities go out with an entourage. No, look, here's what I think happened. This girl was into Joe, wanting to be around Joe. Went out of her way to come to his show, to text him, to DM him, to go backstage with him, to go in a cab with him, to go up to his hotel room, to go to dinner, to go to an after party. All of these events, she was free to leave, and none of these times did she leave. On top of all of that, Joe did nothing wrong. All right, he may have got perturbed, an emotion that I think I could understand if I had spent the entire day, if I were single and I'd spent the entire day with a girl. All right. And then like only after 24 hours do they casually mention they have a boyfriend. I could see why someone might be angry about that. Now, did he lash out at her? I don't know. It sounds like he had a totally understandable reaction, and that was the end of that. However, you just can't be too careful. Joe should have known better. When I used to speak at conventions and stuff, I would always be very careful to not be alone with a woman in any case. And that's not just because because I don't trust women. It's because I know that there are always eyes on me. And people snapping pictures, and what a situation that might be totally innocuous. Maybe it's a girl who isn't even into guys, and we're hanging out in some corner, right? Somebody snaps a picture, it gets online, it's a big scandal, and that's all it takes.
I had a pretty good time.
Yeah, me too. You need a ride somewhere?
Hey, get a load of this. Try McLaren, what looks like a date.
Here you go, boys. A little something for page 1.
Are there certainly people out there that do take advantage of their position? Yes.
Is this a sham marriage?
Sure, baby. Is that a problema?
And I'm going to have more videos today about like Insomniac Studios and stuff like that where behavior was pretty poor. Joe writes, it comes to my attention that someone I met in public at a public event more than 2 years ago, and I have no contact with since, is suddenly now leveling statements against me on social media. I want to be absolutely clear. These claims are not true, and anyone who looks at the facts can plainly see that. I have no idea why this person has decided to do this at this time. I do. You gave The Last of Us 2 a negative review. But the fact that the defamatory smear posted on the internet can ruin lives these days compels me to make this statement. And the frustrating thing is, Joe had to pay his legal team to advise him on this. There are real damages that have already happened. Here are the facts. The person approached me and my colleagues at a Twitch party introducing herself as a fellow content creator who was interested in hanging out and networking. We exchanged Twitter handles. She then DM'd me the same night at 2:16 a.m. asking to see me again. I agreed and invited her to my public panel the next day, then a YouTube dinner meeting with account managers afterwards. She showed up at my panel with a male friend who was more than welcome to join us at any point throughout the rest of the day or night after the panel concluded. After my panel, we met up with a friend, other Joe, and we traveled together to a hotel where she chose to wait while I showered and got ready for dinner. At no point did anything improper happen. I never offered or suggested anything spicy. At the meeting, I helped her network her channels with YouTube partner managers. After the dinner, my friends and I attended another party in a public place. She tagged along. At the party, she checked her bag belongings. At no point did I ever take her phone or purse or deny her access to them. In fact, she posted photos to her Twitter of her with other people throughout the night. Boom. I never grabbed, dragged, pushed, pulled, cornered, or spun her around in any direction as she claims. I did not make her stay by my side at all times as she claims. We mingled at the party separately much of the time. All of these facts can be confirmed by numerous people who were there that evening, and her own account confirms these events. In her post, she claims that she believed I was pressuring her for other things. This is completely untrue. I never suggested it. We never spoke about it. I never touched her. She is a grown-up, and we went out in public. She could have left at any time. I was just trying to help someone who had expressed interest in the industry and my show. I never imagined this could be a bad thing. Well, Joe, You got to find out the hard way. Now, hopefully this doesn't, hopefully this just ends now. I urge this person to do that if this offense occurs so I can clear my name. She's basically saying, file a report then. However, instead of affording me my due process, she decided to post false claims out of the blue more than 2 years later. The consequence is damage not only to my reputation, career, and brand, but also to those whom I employ, my friends, and my family. All because many people don't bother to examine the facts, only the salacious headline. This is now a serious legal matter. On the advice of my attorneys, all my future statements about this will be through the legal process. My lawyers are sending this person a cease and desist letter, and of course she is free to express her opinions about me all she wants. What she is not allowed to do is lie about me or defame me to the public and suggest that I am a predator when I am not. If her behavior continues, I will be forced to take further legal action. I've been in the public eye for 12 years, and now all of this frustrates me as much because it's fabricated and embellished stories like hers that do a disservice to real victims. And that's exactly the truth. Because one person made some trumped up claims, some embellished claims, now that just gives fodder to everyone who is like hashtag never believe women, right? Because now everyone will be able to point to her cancellation attempt and say, well, this person lied. So now this next person who isn't lying must be in doubt. Now, I will say, and I have said, if the first time you're talking about something is a random Twitter thread years later, that doesn't automatically mean you're not telling the truth. But what it does mean is I am going to look at your claims with a lot more scrutiny because you didn't file any reports at the time. There's no public record. So it opens you up to all this type of stuff. I'm not saying that there aren't reasons for women or men who are on the receiving end of bad behavior to wait many years to divulge it. But understand that along with that comes the scrutiny of why didn't you call someone at the time? Where are the records? Where are the receipts? And men and women out there, if you're a content creator, be very, very careful about how you interact with people. This is just a good advice thing anyway. I don't see anything convincing suggesting that Joe acted out of line here. What I see is at worst a misunderstanding. But unfortunately, that's enough to ruin someone's career these days. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this will be done with and Joe can move on with his life and she can move on with hers. We'll talk to you again real soon.